Can you believe they're all the way up to rank and file 7 now?
No, I can't. I thought they would have stopped making them after your performance.
Wow! Didn't realize this was a roast.
No, it's just that you definitely had some interesting priorities earlier in your career. First, it was the movie. Then you were obsessed with getting your own action figure.
It was on the list since day one.
Yeah, which made you super jealous when I got one before you did. Remember this? Are you still a little bit jealous?
No.
Are you sure?
I think you're exaggerating how I reacted.
Really? Because that's not how I remember it. Check it out! My first action figure! Pretty cool, right?
Awesome. They really nailed the detail in your face.
You didn't even really look at it.
Yeah, well, you know what they say about action figures. Once you've seen one, you've seen them all.
Literally no one says that. Wait, are you jealous because you don't have one yet?
No, I'm fine.
Okay, look, I get it. This was more your thing, but it's just an action figure.
It's more than that to me. Think of how you felt when I won a title in WWE before you did. It's like that, but 10 times worse.
Comparing titles to action figures might be a little extreme. But if it makes you feel any better, I'll wait and let you cross it off our list whenever you get one.
No, it's fine. Cross it off. You earned it.
I see you got your first action figure. We've had like 30 now, so it's kind of boring at this point.
Where's yours?
I think he didn't get one.
Well, that's awkward. I think even like Tom Phillips got one.
He doesn't really deserve it.
Well, that's true. He's lucky even to be on the roster.
Sorry, we got sidetracked with a private conversation that had absolutely nothing to do with you. But since apparently you don't have an action figure, we like to give you ours.
Happy Rusev Day!
Do you think he heard what we said?
Who cares? He's a loser.
I heard he freaking jerks, and if I had an action figure of my own, I would team up with Red's action figure to kick your action figure stupid plastic butts.
Or even better, how about we take them down in real life?
Huh? Oh, yeah. I guess we could do that.
She's gonna try it again. Dueling Shining Wizards on the same dangerous page. Is it enough? There's two. What a way to end this mixed tag match. Here are your winners. Big win over some very tough competition.
This guy looks like he's ready to tear through the entire locker room, and I wouldn't put it past him.
What a great match we just saw here on Raw. Thank you to everybody at home for choosing to spend part of your Monday night with us.
In all seriousness, even though it wasn't as important to me, it was pretty cool when not long after that you got your first action figure and crossed it off our list.
But the fact we had different priorities is partly what made this work, because let's be honest, if we'd been competing for the same things, I'm not sure we could have been friends. You were just always so driven to be the best.
Maybe, but it's not like I was only focused on individual goals. Like, what about when we went to SmackDown Live and I ended up teaming with someone who was a great influence and mentor to me? I'm talking about Mickie James, of course! Stand up and take a bow, Mickie, you deserve it. You fought hard, but it just wasn't your night.
Let's face it, it hasn't been your night in a long time. Now, as general manager of SmackDown Live, it's my job to present a cutting-edge product, which means constantly introducing new talent to keep our brand fresh and exciting. But we can't add new talent without making subtractions. So I'm sorry, Mickie, but based on your recent performance, you can either announce your retirement or, unfortunately, I'll have to make that decision for you.
Wait, so you're basically forcing her out? She deserves better than that.
I understand where you're coming from, but like I said, this is bigger than one person. It's about protecting the brand.
There would be no brand without women like Mickie James.
You know what? It's okay. It's okay. I've been doing this a long time, and maybe I've lost a step. Maybe it's just time to hang it up.
No, you can't just accept this. There has to be another way.
Well, there is one other option, but it would just be delaying the inevitable. Mickey can continue competing on SmackDown Live, as long as she wins. But the very next match she loses is her last.
She'll do it.
I will?
All right. Good luck.
Look, I appreciate the support, but with my record as of late, I don't think I'll be sticking around too long.
Or maybe you will with me by your side.
What do you mean?
Big Show didn't say you had to win singles matches.
Are you sure you want to set aside your own goals to do this?
There's nothing I'd rather do than protect your legacy by sending you out on a winning streak. And one last title run. Win Women's Tag Team Championships with Mickie James.
Welcome everyone to the most iconic talk show ever, Iconic Talk, with your hosts,
The Iconics.
We just said iconic so many times.
You said it again. I think we just set a record.
Speaking of records, I want to remind everyone that we are now the longest running women's tag team champions ever from Australia.
They're also the only women's tag team champions from Australia.
Which brings us to my favorite segment of Iconic Talk.
It's time for Why Australia is Better.
This is a part of the show where we educate our audience on different aspects of Australian culture and explain
why Australia is better.
Okay, what do we have this week?
The great sport of cricket.
Which has nothing to do with filthy little insects.
No, it's actually a sport that is very popular in Australia.
Think of it like a way better version of your horrible, dull baseball.
To further educate you on this superior sport, let's go over the laws of cricket, shall we?
There are only 42 of them. Shouldn't take long.
Law 1. A cricket team consists of 11 players, including a captain.
That's a great law. One of my favourites. Now, Law 2.
Hey, what are these two doing out here? There were still 41 laws to go. I wanted to learn more about cricket.
I think you were the only one.
Law 2. The Iconics should never be allowed to have a talk show, as it'll put everyone watching to sleep.
That's not an actual law.
Yeah, don't listen to her.
Why are you two even out here?
It's very rude to interrupt someone's talk show. I recommend you go back and watch the segment we did on manners.
We're here because we want a tag team championship match.
So you two are a team now. What are you calling yourselves?
Red and grey.
Because Mickey's so old, get it?
Hilarious. She really is a fossil.
You've never even teamed before, so what makes you think you deserve a shot at our titles?
Maybe because 8 years ago in Calgary, I beat you in my very first match, and I've only gotten better since then. Way better.
Oh, okay. So you're saying since a long time ago, I felt bad for my pathetic opponent and basically took the night off because I was freezing, that a decade later, when that pathetic opponent rears her ugly head with an elderly partner, they deserve a tag title opportunity? Makes sense?
That was sarcasm. The answer is no.
If you think that we need to prove ourselves as a team, then we'll do it right now in a non-title match. If we win, we get a championship match. And if you win, you end my career.
That whole career-ending stipulation is enticing.
Yeah, I forgot about that. It would be nice to put her out to pasture.
We'll do it.
But only after we finish teaching everyone about cricket.
Law 3. Never interrupt the Iconics.
The Iconics viciously attack Red and Mickey with those cricket bats.
And rightfully so. They violated Law 3.
Red and Mickey are going to be at a severe disadvantage going into this match with so much at stake.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, man! The W is well in hand.
They got it.
Here are your winners, Lassiter and Mickey James.
And she earns the big victory here tonight.
Look out, girls. These two women don't look like they plan on ever losing.
Folks, you're just tuning in. You just missed one of the greatest tag team matches I've seen in years.
That was awesome! And considering our lack of experience together, I'd say we make a pretty good team.
I agree. I mean, you know what? I just want to say thank you for doing this. I could be sitting at home right now, but instead we have a chance to win the tag team championships. And even if my career does end, this is a heck of a way to go out.
Before you celebrate too much, we just found out your tag title match will be taking place on our home turf.
That's right, in our great country, in front of our fans at Super Showdown.
It doesn't matter. We'll beat you anywhere.
Oh, you should also know it's going to be an Australian rules tag match.
Which are the most iconic rules.
What does that even mean?
It means it'll be no disqualification, tornado tag.
Or Willy Willy tag, as we say down under.
Hey, Mickey, you should pack an extra week of clothes. You know, so you can go on holiday in Australia after we end your career.
We'll call our grandparents and see if they know of any good senior resorts.
Boys got her there.
Red goes for the Irish whip, but gets sent into the corner instead.
And now here come the Iconics, pouring it on in front of their home crowd.
This does not look good for Red and Mickey, and by extension, Mickey's career.
What are the Iconics doing?
Oh, I think it's time for a game of cricket.
Red and Mickey have other plans.
This is a bit of revenge for what took place before their match on SmackDown Live.
And since Australian rules is no disqualification, it's perfectly legal.
This is a big risk. Will it pay off?
The champ's eyes look glazed over.
And Mickey James might have just secured the victory.
Not only has Red helped Mickey James ward off retirement, they're now the new women's tag team champions.
To win this match under the pressure they faced and do it in enemy territory under the Iconics rules is truly impressive.
Honestly, I think a lot of credit goes to Red and her list. Someone said it before the match, that list is a powerful motivational tool for Red.
Yeah, that someone was me, Corey.
Nah, it couldn't have been you. It probably was Cole.
And that's how Mickey James went from being a hero and mentor of mine to more than that. She was now my tag team partner and, more importantly, my friend.
Aw, that's nice. But aren't you skipping over a pretty important part?
How about we move on? Don't you want to talk about when you were on the cover of WWE 2K25?
I do, but hang on a second. Earlier, you put me on blast for having some trivial goals. So now it's my turn to call you out for a time when you let the list steer you down a questionable path. This is a night to remember our careers, good and bad.
Fine. If you want to talk about it so much, then you tell the story.
Okay. After they became tag team champions, it turned everything around for Mickey. She even ended up earning a SmackDown Live Women's Championship opportunity against Kairi Sane.
Ever since Mickey James teamed with Red and won the tag team title, she's been riding an unexpected wave of success to avoid retirement. Tonight, she has the opportunity to continue her winning streak and become SmackDown Live Women's Champion if she can defeat Kairi Sane.
I know I've said it before, but I think tonight is the night Mickie's luck expires, especially without her partner Red to bail her out of any tough situations.
Well, tonight is truly the end of the line for Mickie. It has been one heck of a final run.
Once more, setting it up. Insane elbow.
The title's in jeopardy here.
I think the paradigm has shifted. The unbelievable streak continues. Mickie James is now one half of the tag team champions and your new SmackDown Live Women's Champion.
I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this.
Somehow, Mickie continues to defy the odds. It's like every time she's backed into a corner, she somehow finds a new way to escape. Congratulations, Mickie. You earned every bit of this.
I feel like you've been a little off lately. You're moody, quick to lash out, overly judgmental about my decisions.
It all sounds like typical me.
Maybe those weren't the best examples, but I've known you long enough to realize when something's bothering you.
Well, to be honest, I'm kind of getting impatient. I mean, teaming with Mickie has been fun, but I never thought it would last this long, and I definitely didn't see her singles title run happening. Now I'm basically waiting for someone to beat her so I can go after the SmackDown Live Women's Championship. I've been dying to cross that off.
Some might say you're a bit too focused on the list.
Who's some? Are you some?
Look, if you want my advice, I see two ways for you to get what you want. But the first option wouldn't be very honorable.
What do you mean?
If you and Mickie were to somehow lose your tag titles, then Mickie would be forced to retire and vacate her women's title, leaving you free to pursue it. Option number two, the more straight-up way of doing things, would be for you to tell Mickie exactly how you feel and challenge her to a match for the SmackDown Live Women's Championship, potentially crossing that off the list. But if you beat her, you'd also lose the tag titles and worse, end the career of your idol/friend.
I don't really love either option.
This business forces you to make some tough decisions. But at least you're not choosing between competing in a tag title match or saving your mangled ear like Mick Foley once had to do.
No, but if losing my ear was option 3, I'd think I'd take it.
The alternative is just waiting around for something to happen, and who knows how long that could take.
You're right. I guess I should... Hey, Mickie. I need to talk to you about something. It's kind of personal, sorry.
We'll catch up later. What's going on? Is everything okay?
Yeah, well, not really. It's just lately... I'll just come out and say it. I want your title. And I know what that means for you and for us, but I don't think I can sit back any longer.
You know what? I was waiting for this moment.
You were?
Look, I know who you are, what you're made of, what got you here. You're driven to be the very best. And I knew that being tag team champions would only satisfy you for so long.
So you don't hate me?
No, I get it. I actually respect you for your honesty. I can think of a couple other ways this could have gone down.
But if I beat you, it's all over.
If it's going to come to an end, and it will, sooner rather than later, I want you to be the one that does it. Besides, none of this would have even happened if it wasn't for you. But with all of that said, I've come too far to just roll over. If you face me for my title, you better be ready for a fight.
You know me. I wouldn't want it any other way.
Months ago, Red essentially resuscitated her idol Mickie James' career. Tonight, after issuing her an open and honest challenge, she may now cause it to come to a sudden conclusion.
If you ask me, Red's being extremely selfish. She's prioritizing the list and her individual goals ahead of her tag team championship and her supposed friend's career.
You may feel that way, but from all accounts, Mickie James was completely fine with how Red approached her regarding this match. She even said if she was going to lose her title and her career, she'd want it to be to Red.
Well, I, for one, will never understand that.
Mickie James appears to be on her last legs.
I'm sorry.
Red hits the Mick kick. Is this the end for Mickie James?
It's all over. Red is your new SmackDown Live Women's Champion. And as a result, Mickie James' historic career has come to an end.
Red ended Mickie's career with her own move. What a true friend.
I think it was actually a sign of respect to do it that way.
Yeah, it was almost like a tribute.
You know, it would have been a good tribute, continuing to defend the tag championship and not ending your idol's career.
You deserve this moment.
A nice gesture from our new champion, Red, giving Mickie James a chance to say goodbye to the WWE Universe.
And no matter how I feel about Red right now, I do want to say thank you to Mickie James. You will be missed.
Thank you, Mickie.